G'day guys, Steve Morgan here, Australian Bass Tournaments, and we are still at the Meetung Hotel. Of course, our 2020 Costa BREAM Series has been a little bit derailed for the first couple of events. We were always coming here to Meetung for the first event on Gippsland Lakes, but the second event, the Z-Man Malakuta round, had to be we had to move it because Malakuta burnt. We all would have seen that footage on the news. So this is a bit of a fundraiser event. We're raising some money for the community and we are fishing the event here on Gippsland Lakes again, which is really interesting. We only had an event here a couple of days ago and it's going to be really cool to see whether the fish in the first event hold up for the anglers or whether a whole new set of patterns and locations are going to bring home the goods for the guys. Now, this is the Z-Man event. Now, Z-Man, it's an American brand of baits brought in by Tackle Tactics in Australia. TT, been a great supporter of tournament fishing for years and years. Gareth and Justin and the guys, thank you for your support. And we're going to talk about some of those Z-Man products this afternoon. I've got one of the ABT anglers with me, Charlie Sakeo. And Charlie, I'm always watching you when we're cutting together the highlights, and man, you love a Z-Man grub. I see you throwing those things all the time.
Oh yeah, look, the Z-Man grubs, you can't really go past them. It doesn't really matter where we go, from the west coast up to Gladstone that we went through last year, all the way through to yellows, blacks. The Z-Man grub, you can throw it anywhere and you can catch some big ones with it as well. And look, it really helped me in the first round, and there's no doubt that there's going to be a number of my rods tied on with Z-Mans for sure.
Now, if you were going to pick the ultimate Z-Man grub for you, if you only had one to fish with for the rest of your life for bream, what would you pick? What jig head and what grub colour combination?
It's an easy one for the colour. It's got to be motor oil, of course. 2.5-inch grub, and obviously a 116 Japanese finesse hook that TT make as well.
I notice, and we're probably going to be rolling some of your highlights here in the background anyway, you like having that high stance and that real sort of shaking retrieve with the Miller rod that you use. Explain what that does to the grub on the other end and how it makes the fish bite.
Yeah, so when the Z-Man grab actually sits down on the ground, the tail sits up and it floats. And so when you're adding that additional shake to it, the tail actually wiggles even a lot more. And then you add a little bit of a slow roll to it as well. And then, it all happens.
When do the fish bite? Do they bite while it's shaking or while it's pausing?
Look, it sort of really depends. Here at the moment, you can't really feel them bite and stuff like that. It's a real soft bite and stuff like that. So as I'm shaking and it's on the pause, and then I just go, and then the weight's basically on and that as well. So, but generally you'll feel them as it starts to drop down, and then they'll actually come down, and you can actually feel the full knock in that as well. So hopefully they're eating that way in the next couple of days.
Well, Z-Man have got a few new products out. One of the ones they've told us about today is the 2.75-inch bugs. It's a little bit different from that grub tail. It's like I think it's a beaver shape, matched with one of their Ned Locks heads. The Z-Man material, of course, floats up. The Ned Locks has got a flat head on it, makes it stand up. Charlie, a grub standing up off the bottom is pretty good tucker for a bream, isn't it?
Oh, look, most definitely. It sits out in the water really easily, and they come to it quite nicely.
Now, you did well in the first event. You probably would have wanted to do a little bit better, but you're always up here at the pointy end at Gippsland. We have an easterly wind blowing this time, which is different conditions from the first event. How do you think it's going to pan out this weekend?
Oh, look, it's going to be really tough because the wind's actually quite high. So, look, I think there's two things that angler's going to have to sort of really deal with. First and foremost, the conditions, because you're going to have to find somewhere where you're going to be able to actually hold your boat and actually fish properly. And then secondly, because we've had the tournament here already, plus 2 pre-fish days and another 2, all the pressure in that as well. So it's going to go to the guys that are going to be really, really patient and stuff like that as well. And look, it won't surprise me that you're only going to get somewhere between 5 and 6, 7 bites or something like that, and you got to make sure that you convert them all.
Well, there you go, some great insight from Charlie Sakeo. Let's go to an ad from Okuma, and we're going to be back to you with another one of the anglers. Well, there you go. Look at this, the magic of television. We have Jamie McEwen here now, who fished really well in the first event. I think 4th place for you, Jamie.
Yep, 4th place. That was good. That's my first ever full 10 limit at Gippsland Lakes, so I was really happy with that. And
it's a pretty difficult venue. You're either hero or zero in this place. Like if you're on the fish, you're on the fish, and if they're not in your spot, they're not there, are they?
Yeah, no, that's right. And this comp's the first time I've really put some time and effort into actually trying to catch blacks and work them out a bit. So, yeah.
We saw some of your highlights, and there are some rolling in the background here of you camping in one of the bridges in the rivers for the whole 2 days of competition. Now, the question I asked Charlie Sakeo before is, do you think some of these fish are going to hold up? And did you find anything better than your bridge today?
No, I didn't.
So
No.
you're just going to, all of the cards, you're all in, and if they're there, you're going to catch them, and if they're not, you're going to stuff her.
Yeah, well, at fourth in the first round, can only go backwards from there, sort of thing. So, mate, I've got nothing else. So yeah, you'll see me there.
If it was a yellowfin comp, would a yellowfin bridge hold up for 4 days?
No way. No. If it was a yellowfin comp, I would have left that bridge after the first hour on the first comp.
Yeah, with a limit.
Yeah. No, without a limit. That's why I would have left.
As a Queenslander, you've made the trip down here to Gippsland. You've done pretty well both times. What advice have you got for Northerners that want to come down and give this amazing venue a shot? Like, we're on the back deck of the Meetung Hotel here now. Within 30 or 40 kilometres in either direction are some amazing bream fisheries, aren't they?
Yeah, it's an awesome week away. Like, we stopped at BAM on the way down and caught heaps of bream and heaps of flathead on top water lures, and the boys went to Marlow yesterday and caught huge bream. And this fishery is awesome. It just takes time to get to know all the spots, and there's fish everywhere really, but you just need to really put the effort into to try and work out what they want. It's a bit hard to sort of transition from yellow brim fishing all the time at home to trying to catch blacks, but yeah, you generally, after a while, you sort of try and work it out a bit.
Well, one more thing I want you to talk about is the Fishing for Fireys. Of course, we've relocated this event from Malakuta to here. We're raising some funds at this event to go to Malakuta, some raffles, some pretty cool promotions. But you are running that wrap boat, fishingforfireys.com.au. You can go there and spend $100 on a ticket. What are you going to get if you win?
Mate, first prize is an awesome prize. It's airfares, accommodation, hire car for a week on the Gold Coast, and for 5 days you get 1 day fishing with Greg Lamchet. Yep, he's a offshore guru up our way. Nick White, who's just he can catch anything pretty much, even in the kitchen sink probably. 1 day with me, 1 day with Dougie Burt, and the other day is with Mick Horn, probably chasing, he's doing a fair bit of bass work out at Hins at the moment, getting big 50s. So, and you're going to get, I think it's nearly $5,000 worth of fishing gear to take home with you as well. Second prize, Nitro Marine threw in a tinny with a Mercury. BLA have thrown in all the safety gear for it, and third prize, Lawrence have come on board with a HDS unit. So yeah.
So there's heaps of prizes. It's $100 a ticket, and 100% of the funds raised are going to be going straight into the Malakuta community, aren't they? That's an important thing.
Yeah, it's we decided we wanted to do something for the community, and we didn't want to donate it to all the big organisations sort of thing. We wanted to make it a little bit more personal, where we weren't replacing infrastructure or anything like that. So we wanted to, if there was 50 kids that lost bikes in the fires, let's replace 50 bikes or stuff like that. So so it's $100 a ticket. I think we've sold 350 so far.
So the odds are good.
Yeah, so there's still plenty of tickets available. So yeah, get on board and have a crack.
Well, there you go. Some great work being done by Jamie and, of course, by Wayne Smith, who we weren't going to mention your name, but you are behind there pulling the strings, Wayne. We know that you do it. One final thing I want to talk about is the platypus fluorocarbon before we go to the next break. Platypus Stealth FC, made in Japan, even though the platypus is an Australian name. It's made in Japan specifically for them. Available from £2 to £50, but the £2 and the stuff that the brim guys use between £2 and £12, it's in 100-metre spools, so you can use it either for leaders or for a top shot. And I love my straight through fluorocarbon. I know you use it a few times, probably not using it in your bridge up there to pull them out. No. But it's support a great Australian company. Platypus is a great Australian name. It is now done by the guys at TT. Check it out at your local tackle store. It's same refractive index of water. It sinks heavier. It knots great. It's abrasion resistant. So we're going to go to a break now and come back with last event's winner.
If you're Will Flack, you don't just go fishing. You get up at 4 a.m., get your motor going. Get this motor going. Sun's up, shades up. Pick it, tie it, stretch it, haul it. Dang it. Let's try this school. Nope. Best restaurant ever. You were gonna be back by 3. 3-ish? 6-ish. Bonefish, 2 o'clock. Strip, strip, strip. Hit it, kiss it. That's it. Okay, your turn. Now it's a fishing trip. For those who need water to breathe. Costa sunglasses.
Okay, now the final angle we're talking to this afternoon, of course, the winner of the last event, Mark Hayes. And Hazy, I loved watching those highlights of you crankbaiting those big bream off the bridge, and some of them you didn't win, did you?
No, when they got in there, you can't get them out.
Your favourite little jerkbaits, are you going to throw them at that bridge again tomorrow? We have a weather event where we're going to be probably starting in all of the rivers. You're going to win the race to the bridge tomorrow?
Well, I hope so. Everyone knows where it was, so...
Well, this is a different tournament, so you've won the last tournament. So, but I think maybe you know how to just hold the tongue right and twitch it right, and everyone else doesn't know that.
That's right, and I've got a few deeper divers that might work, and shallow ones too if they're just sitting underneath the concrete pylon.
Tell us what would happen if, say, you get there and there's a boat on every single pylon. Do you know how to catch fish in the Tambo that aren't on the bridge?
Well, I couldn't find them the other day, but I'm going to have to find them.
There you go. Each tournament, of course, this tournament was to be at Malakuta. It is now at Gippsland Lakes. It's brought to you by Z-Man. Hazy, good luck tomorrow, mate. You were a popular winner last time. Make sure you catch up with all of our coverage on www.abt.org.au. That's where the weigh-ins, the results, the photos, and Hazy getting busted off.
Roasted.
Roasted.